What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me today. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm developing some sort of cold or upper respiratory infection or something. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, right? So please excuse me if you hear me sniffling or clearing my throat or something like that, right? But anyway, today I wanted to talk to you about the development of higher time frame directional bias, right? I want to go over with you my own personal thought process when I am looking at the higher time frames trying to decide what I think is going on, right? So, first things first, let's go over another fact of the market. All right? And you probably heard this before. Trading is a zero-sum game. And a lot of traders interpret that to mean for every winner, there's a loser, okay? Every time you close out a trade and take profit, some poor sucker somewhere has lost their money. Their hard-earned cash that they've put into the market has just been taken out of their trading account and put into your trading account. Trading is a zero-sum game. For every winner, there's a loser, right? But what this also means, and what it really means, what I want you to get out of it, that trading is a zero-sum game, is that for every seller, there's a buyer. For every buyer, there's a seller. Any time a buy order hits the market, right, and goes through, there must be a seller on the other side willing to take the opposite side of that trade. Okay, and this is a fact. It only makes sense. Think about it. If you had something to sell in real life and you went to the market to sell it, what do you need in order to sell whatever you've got? You need someone there to buy it. You need a buyer. If you're a seller, you need a buyer. If you're a buyer, you need a seller. Okay? And that is just a fact of the market. Now, when it comes to what I'm looking for on these higher time frames, okay, I am doing like what most other traders do, and I'm tracking past lows and highs in general, right? Swing highs and swing lows, like a lot of traders like to call them. But specifically, I'm looking for easy to identify equal highs and equal lows. And here's a tip. If you want to try this out and experiment with this on your own, here's a little tip for IDing or identifying these equal highs and equal lows. You need to trust yourself. Use your own discernment and only pick the equal highs and equal lows that really stand out to you, that are very obvious to you, right? You could sit here with your friend and look at the exact same chart, and they might not ever notice that area of equal highs, but you notice it, right? Because it's obvious to you. When you open your charts, it just jumps off the screen at you, okay? Those are the levels that you want to be paying attention to, the ones that are obvious to you, okay? So there's your little tip when it comes to that. For me, what that means is I'm looking for clean equal highs. So if you see where I've circled on this chart here, we have equal highs that are basically created off of 2 days, right? So it's not 5 days in consolidation throwing wicks everywhere. It's just 2 days, one up, one down. The market shifts and leaves behind equal highs. All right? And this is something that I want you to be aware of, okay? The market is always creating and consuming money or liquidity. So if you look at this chart, look at every time price shifts from bearish to bullish, from bullish to bearish. When that shift occurs, what is left behind? Equal highs and equal lows, okay? When the market shifts, it leaves behind oftentimes areas of interest. And what's so important about these equal highs? Why am I looking at these equal highs, right? Because when I see these clean equal highs, immediately in my head, I start to think, okay, at some point, the market is going to trade back into those equal highs. But why do I have that belief? Why do I believe, and not just believe, why do I know that the market is going to trade back into those equal highs? Why am I convinced of that? Because there are orders at and above those equal highs, okay? People got into the market there. Short players sold the market where those equal highs are that we've marked off on this chart. And those people that went short might want to protect those short positions. And how are they going to do that? They're going to put in a stop loss or a protection order. And where is that stop loss going to be? It's going to be at or above those equal highs, okay? But what really is a stop loss order? What is a protection order? A stop loss order is an order that executes at a specific price and takes you out of the market. All right? So if you're a seller, what needs to happen for you to close that trade? How do you close that trade as a seller? Okay? You have to buy out. If you sold, when you close that position, you have to buy in order to close. So those stop loss orders, those protection orders, those are not really stop loss orders. See, retail traders have been trained to think a certain way. You've been given the words that you use, okay? Someone else has been trying their best to convince you that these are simply stop loss orders and protection orders, but really what they are buy orders, okay? Because these traders went short here when the market started dropping, right? And they put in stop loss orders. Those are buy orders. So there are buy orders sitting at and above those equal highs. But there's not only stop loss buy orders. There are also breakout traders, right? Who have a firm belief that if price trades back into and through those equal highs, it's going to continue on its bullish trajectory, right? So there are two different types of buy orders, perhaps sitting at or above those equal highs. Now, the market is always creating and consuming liquidity or money or opportunity. It's always creating opportunity and then closing the deal on that opportunity, all right? Now, one thing you need to be aware of is that retail traders like myself, like you, your favorite YouTuber, are not responsible for significant price movement, okay? Even on lower time frames, retail traders are not responsible for directional movement in the market. So who is, right? Other time frame traders, big dogs. This is when the big fish enter the market and you see a displacement of price. So, for example, look at the equal highs. From those equal highs, we trade lower. Price is being pushed lower by institutional level traders, by professionals, by big money, okay? Another way that people like to describe this is by smart money. Smart money is responsible for these movements, and nothing in the market happens on accident, all right? It's all very well engineered, thought out, planned, okay? So smart money is pushing the market down. Prices are dropping. Why does smart money need the prices to become lower? Why do they want prices lower? What's the plan? And you have to remember, we're talking about smart money. Who is smart money? Smart money are the ones who are buying low and selling high. You understand? So the reason why smart money needs price to go down is so they can create the opportunity for themselves to buy low. They need price to get it at an acceptable area so they can buy low, all right? And so you can see here, after the market drops down after the equal highs, it goes down, locks in the swing low, and then the market shifts bullish again. And when it shifts bullish, it leaves behind equal lows, okay? And now the market's being pushed up. Smart money has got in, they bought low there, All right. Now the price is being pushed up. Why is smart money pushing price up? Why do they want higher prices? Why is that something they desire? What is the plan? Okay, well, if they were pushing it down in order to buy low, now they're pushing it up in order to sell high. Okay, so in order to sell high, why or how are they going to do this? If they want to sell high, what do they need? They need a sucker. They need someone to take the other side of their trade. They need a sucker. And who's going to be that sucker? Well, it's not going to be me, and it's not going to be you. It's going to be anybody who entered that market at those equal highs and still has their stop loss in there. They haven't taken any profits out, right? Or it's going to be these breakout traders with their buy positions there. Those are the buy orders that are going to allow smart money to sell high. Because if they're selling high, they need someone on the opposite side who's willing to buy high, okay? So they can have their positions filled. And that is why I have that belief that price is going to at some point trade back into those equal highs, okay? In order to absorb those orders and give smart money the opportunity to sell high. Now let's look at current price action. So this is this market currently, all right? And you can see that it did indeed trade through those equal highs, okay? It went right up to 196.000. Okay, that's another clue that this is a big fish getting into the market. They buy in at these whole numbers like that, okay? So we can see that price does go up there, absorb those buy orders, falls, has a significant day of fall, right? And then it trades back up there. But listen, I'm not really worried about what's happening when it gets up there, all right? And this is where we're going to bring this full circle and make this make sense, all right? Because remember, I told you I'm not in the business of predicting price. I'm not trying to catch the low or catch the high here. I don't care what price does when it gets to those equal highs. All I care about is that we get to those equal highs. Because I have a higher time frame, bullish directional bias, I have a target, I have an idea of where price might be going back up to those equal highs, right? Because of that, I know I'm expecting to see higher prices. Now I'm able to drop down onto lower time frames on the day and look for bullish trade setups and get in the market, which I did on Friday. You can go back and look at, the first technical video I posted on the channel. It's a trade review, okay? I traded based on this information, based on the thesis that I had developed, right? And I nailed a beautiful percentage on my account that day. I took that one trade, and that's all I needed. That's all you need, okay? So I'm not interested, again, in catching the high or catching the low. None of that. That's not what this is about. Don't try to do that. Don't try to catch the highs and catch the lows. You want to know what that's called? It's called guessing. It's called gambling. All right? That's not what we're in this game to do. And so when it gets up here and trades through these equal highs, I don't have any problem with staying patient and sitting on my hands and staying my ass up out of this market until I get another area of interest or a sign that we're trading towards another area of interest. So I'm going to be staying out of this market here. I'll go somewhere else and look for opportunities that are easily identifiable for me. Okay? That's so important, bro. Don't go in here trying to be a fucking scientist. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Don't worry about it. Don't trade it. Only trade the shit that makes sense to you. Make sense? Okay? And you have to learn how to trust yourself. The name of this channel is Free Your Mind, and I tell you to free your mind at the end of every video. And what I mean by that is free your mind. Don't be afraid to explore your own thoughts. Don't be afraid to explore your own ideas, your own original ideas, okay? Allow your mind to be free. Allow it to blossom and bloom, okay? The mind is a beautiful thing. Learn to trust yourself, okay? You literally have millions of years of evolution backing you up, right? Most traders, they believe evolution is working against you. You know, as far as trading goes, right? Everything that we know from the past, it doesn't fit with trading, okay? That's what people say. But I promise you that your brain is super smart, and you need to learn to trust your own mind, all right? So anyway, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.